Welcome back to the channel. Today we're reacting to a video of a woman that climbed the charts more than any other female entertainer of her day. The video is of Dionne Warwick. Tell me your thoughts about this video in the comments. But as always, don't forget to like, share, watch more videos, and subscribe to the channel.
She is one of the country's most celebrated vocal artists. With more than 50 hit singles and 20 albums, she is known worldwide as the artist who bridged the gap. Her name is Dionne Warwick, and the History Makers is proud to present An Evening with Dionne Warwick. And now, to our host, star of stage and screen, the legendary and talented Diane Carroll.
It is an honor for me to be here in the presence of the young woman that is being honored tonight. She's an incredible creature. I think we should all be very grateful that we lived in her time and we shared her brilliant artistry. There is only one. Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Dionne Warwick. Dionne Warwick.
Look at all you pretty people. Hi. Fine, how are you?
I asked Dionne to wear a skirt this evening. I wanted us to show you our legs while we can. So even though thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Some of the best legs in the business belong to Miss Warwick. I try to hold my own, you know. Dionne, it's lovely to be here with you.
Thank you, darling.
And I would have died if you hadn't asked me to come
Well,
to be here tonight.
Well, we know we're not going to allow you to die.
Thank you. So many people have asked since they learned about this evening how we met.
Let me preface this by saying that Miss Carroll has been an inspiration and a mentor of mine for as long as I've been in the industry. And I always considered it a privilege to have been able to come into your dressing room and to speak to you on a one-on-one basis. I used to go to see people that were in a place that I wanted to be. And you were performing at the Persian Room at the Plaza Hotel in New York City. And I remember vividly going there with my notebook. Yeah, I considered going to see people like Diane and Lena Horne and Ella Fitzgerald, my classes. And that's where I learned my craft. I sat in the back of the room, and I remember it like it was yesterday. You moved in a certain place on your stage, and the spotlight came right to the table, and I was furiously writing. And I remember her saying, "Little girl, what are you doing?" Duh. Was all I could think of saying.
I am so honored to hear you remember this
Absolutely.
and share this with me, because you know I'm just a few years older than I have watched you grow. I mean, I literally saw you at the very beginning, and it's an honor to see what you've developed into, which is quite lovely. We're both Easterners.
Right.
You are from?
East Orange, New Jersey.
And I think most of us understand that the strength of you that we are privy to is mostly because you were raised in a very religious, strong family unit.
Oh, absolutely.
You need to have that in our profession.
No doubt.
And your mother, I have just learned, managed a gospel singing group called the Drinkard Singers.
That's right. It's my family.
Would you please tell me about your mother doing this?
Of course. Well, I grew up in a gospel singing family. The Drinkards are my aunts and uncles, my mother's brothers and sisters. And they were, and still are, very, very much involved in our church activities. They still sing at functions. So my background is gospel music. And my mom, being the eldest of her family, she basically was the manager of the group and made sure that they got to where they had to go and got paid. You know.
Tell me a little something about your family in comparison to Dionne Warwick's family.
All that important stuff. And was very instrumental in helping my sister and I form our own gospel group, the Gospel Heirs.
Right.
And so coming
your
from
dad?
that kind of a family,
Your
my
dad
dad was, he promoted gospel records. And they both traveled with me in the very beginning of my career as well. They took turns.
I feel fortunate, and I do know that middle-class black families travel with those little girls.
Oh, yes, they did.
To make sure everything is correct on the road.
Always.
Yes, I'm
no,
very
you
happy.
can't do that. No, you will not go there. Yes, you will go to bed.
That's right.
Okay?
Yes. And you know what? I love them for it. Now, there was the New Hope Baptist Church.
Yes.
That was in
that's-
Orange.
No, that's in Newark, New Jersey.
Newark.
106 Sussex Avenue, if you intend to come and visit us. We'd love to have you. It's my church. It's where I grew up in, basically. And I played for our choir there and was the head of our junior choir. So that's my home church.
And where did you go to school?
Went to school in East Orange, New Jersey. I went to Lincoln Grammar School, which is now the Dionne Warwick Institute.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
On to Vernon L. Davy Junior High School, East Orange High School. And then I went on to the Hart College of Music in Hartford, Connecticut, where I have completed all of my studies. I have earned my doctorate in music education. Yeah.
Let's take a minute to talk about your music.
Okay.
How did this all begin? How did it happen to you?
You know, my mom's group were at the Apollo Theater on a gospel show, and we happened to be at one of the shows listening to the music, and a man ran in frantically, I mean really frantic. We need singers, and they wanted to take either my mother's group or the Davis sisters who happened to be on the show, the Imperials who were also on the show, and of course they couldn't leave the Apollo to go do some background work. So Big Mouth here said, we can do it. Never knowing what background was or anything of that nature. It's like, what did I commit ourselves to doing? But as it turned out, it was a date at Savoy Records in Newark, New Jersey for Sam the Man Taylor
Right.
and Nappy Brown. And that was our first experience of oohing and ahhing and yeah behind secular music.
Are we allowed to ask you, how old were you when this happened?
2.5.
Here.
Thank you, darling.
You know, we only think of you in terms of music. What do you think if music had not been a part of your life? What
There's
would
no
have
way in the world. I can't imagine a life
anything
without
else?
music.
I know
Can't
exactly what
imagine.
you mean.
Could you ever imagine the world without music?
No.
We'd all be basket
What would
cases.
happen to us without music?
Basket cases.
We need it. We need it more than we
absolutely.
need psychiatrists. What kind of music did you enjoy when you were a youngster?
Oh, Frankie Lyman and Teenagers. You know, I listened to B.B. King, Sarah Vaughan. Well, I grew up around Sarah Vaughan because she went to school with my mother.
Oh.
So she was Aunt Sass. Dinah Washington, Nat King Cole, Perry Como. But my group was Frankie Lyman and Teenagers.
They got your heart
Yeah.
at a young age.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You formed your own singing group at one point.
The Gospel Airs.
The Gospel Airs was your group. You
Yep.
did that.
Yep.
Weren't you young and
Yeah.
very ambitious to do that?
Always. You know me.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, well, it just seemed the natural thing to do, being that I was part of a gospel singing family, that we sang gospel all the time, that a group seemed the natural evolution.
But did you record anything at that time?
No, I didn't. We just did background work. We worked with some of stellar stars of that time.
Yes.
And those dollars helped put me through college. So it served its purpose. I did a lot of demonstration records for songwriters because I was working out of the Brill building. And of course, you know, that's where all the songwriters
That's
were and
right.
all the publishers were.
That's right.
And one thing basically led to another. I did a demonstration record for the Shirelles that Bacharach and David had written, and Florence Greenberg, who owned and operated Scepter Records.
Now, are you telling us that this is how you met
Bacharach
Bert
and
Bacharach, Hal David, and Florence?
Yeah, because of a demonstration record.
Really?
I met Bert first. I met him, he had written a song with another songwriter, Bob Hilliard, for the Drifters called Mexican Divorce. Good
I'm
song, though.
sorry.
It's a good song, really
That's
good
an
song.
inside joke. We'll
But
leave that one alone.
And after the session was completed, he asked if I'd be interested in doing more demonstration records of songs that he was writing with another songwriting partner, Hal David. And of course, I said yes. It's very lucrative for me. I had to pay 35 cents to get to New York on the 118.
Yes.
That bus went right to the Port of Authority, and 5 blocks up the street there it was. I continued to do background work and demonstration records of their songs. One of the songs, as I reiterated, was written for the Shirelles. And Florence Greenberg, she didn't want the song, but she wanted the singer. I was not going to really have any part of that based on the fact that, first of all, my mother would have killed me. You are going to school, and you're going to finish, and that's the end of that.
That's
So,
right.
and that's exactly what I told them. And actually, my graduating gift was my first hit record.
Really?
Yep, Don't Make Me Over.
Oh. How many of you remember Don't Make Me Over? Your career really took off from that point, and it skyrocketed you, and I think we can take a look at it for just a moment.
Don't make me over now that I do.
In 1963, Scepter Records released the first album for Marie Dionne Warwick. However, they spelled her name wrong, making the second R into a W. But Dionne wasn't upset by the error and took to the name Warwick, which has since brought her worldwide fame and celebrity.
The moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup.
Her collaboration with producers and songwriters Bert Bacharach and Hal David brought the trio unprecedented success. Her unique vocal style and timeless elegance merged perfectly with the duo's musical compositions and lyrics. Dubbed the artist that bridged the gap, Dionne Warwick graced the airways of both R&B and pop radio stations. Dionne could convey both vulnerability and strength in a single lyric. And the sophisticated interpretation of songs showed wisdom beyond her years. Bacharach and David marveled at the artist's versatility of range and style. And they created complex musical arrangements that only she could sing, and she sang them effortlessly.
If you see me walking down the street and I start to cry each time we meet, walk on by.
Intent on her new career, Dionne embarked on a European tour. The legendary Marlene Dietrich introduced Dionne at her debut in Paris. On each stop, Dionne won over audiences with early hits like Walk On By and Anyone Who Had a Heart.
Anyone who ever look at me and know that I love you. Anyone who ever dreamed.
She was the first African-American female pop and R&B performer to achieve international fame and appear before the Queen of England. Her reputation as a major force in American music was squarely set as well. Dionne quickly became America's top-selling female artist, and the life of this famed songstress would never be the same.
I'm curious, were you aware that you were the first crossover artist?
No, not until somebody told me, you know. It sounded so dumb, didn't it?
No,
really?
no.
But no, I didn't really realize how many firsts that I have been a part of.
Well, you don't think about it when you're
No,
doing
you just do
think
it.
about the work.
You know, you just go ahead and do it.
And then someone came over to you and said, that's crossover music.
Yeah.
And no one's ever done
Nope.
that before.
That's
I have to
right.
tell you, the first time I heard the sound of you, I was living in New York at the time. And several members of my family, as well as some friends, called and they said, have you heard this young singer? I made it my business to get to the record store that day because of what they had to say. Mm-hmm. And I heard this sound. I couldn't digest it. It was so different. Mm-hmm. It was a part of my youth because I heard the gospel in it, mm-hmm. but it had other things.
Yeah.
And I believed the other things. The other things were pure and wonderful. And when I heard Bert with you, Bert, who was becoming this extremely sophisticated musician, reaching for other things, and you with the earth underneath your feet, I thought I was going to scream.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, darling. I just had to throw that in a little bit here.
Thank you.
Because that really is bridging a very important gap. Mm-hmm. We shared some of the same challenges in breaking the color barrier those days. Were you ever accused of something that I've heard many times, copping out and not being black enough?
Yeah.
I love the enough part. I don't know what I...
Definitely, you know, and I usually say, well, I look in the mirror every day and I know what I see.
That's black.
You know, what you looking at. I remember vividly when Alfie came out, and there was a DJ in New York, Rocky G. Mm-hmm. And I remember getting to that point, and I saw Rocky at the Apollo one evening. And I asked him, I said, why aren't you playing my records? He said, well, you know, you're just too white for us. I said, excuse me? He said, well, you know, I mean, you're just a little bit too much. I said, oh, okay. Thank you. And finally, Alfie had started peaking, and it became the #1 record on his radio station. And I called him. I said, hey, Rocky, who's that white girl you playing on your station? So I guess
Sometimes you just have to help people over a certain little bridge,
I
you
guess
know. Broaden their thinking and move on.
exactly.
There is a song that Bert and Hal wanted you to do, and you didn't want to do it. You really did not want to record this song. You want to take a look at this song?
You know the way to San Jose, I've been away so long. I've played the wrong and do you know the way to San Jose? I'm going back.
In 1968, Dionne won her first Grammy Award for the Best Contemporary Female Vocal Performance for the gold-selling record, Do You Know the Way to San Jose? Making her the first African-American female artist of her generation to win the award.
Could you share with us what it was that you held so fast, that you hated about this song?
Well, whoa. I mean, they've been writing such prolific, wonderful words for me to say.
Yes.
Hal David, I feel, is probably the best lyricist of our time. And he's written songs that will live long after we're all gone. Whoa.
Tell me in the comments, out of all of Dionne Warwick's songs, which one is your favorite?
I got to the point where they would play songs for me, and if I said I hated it, that would be the single.
Say you have to do that.
No, that would be the single.
That's the
Definitely.
single.
Absolutely.
That's always the way.
I was
How
never
did it feel,
criteria.
though, darling? How did you feel what did it feel like? Can you remember how you felt?
Oh, yeah. Every single recording that I've made, I remember. Every single I've made, I remember. Whether they were hits or not. I equate my recordings as my children, you know, and people always ask you, what's your favorite song? All of them. Every single one of them happens to be my favorite.
Yes.
You know, you can't distinguish your favorite child.
No.
You know, and that's the way I feel. And some wonderful things are accompanied each song. So, yeah, they're all
I understand
favorites.
that completely. You do know that in my act at this moment, I'm doing a tribute to you. I've stolen everything you ever recorded.
Oh, great.
And I'm having the best time, really. But I have to tell you, sometimes they make me cry because they bring back such memories.
Oh, good.
And they're so beautiful and important. So I must say that the true test of your relationship is in the songs. Let's see how you feel about this song.
Okay.
What do you get when you fall in love? A guy with a pin to burst your bubble. That's what you get for all your trouble. I'll never fall in love again.
In 1970, Dionne won her second Grammy Award for Best-Selling Album for the hit I'll Never Fall in Love Again, written by Burt Bacharach and Hal David, continuing the phenomenon and racking up 30 hit singles and close to 20 best-selling albums.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, just like the guy was feeding too big for his bed. Nothing seems to fit. Yeah, I'm never gonna stop the rain from complaining. You'll never get to heaven if you break my heart. So be very careful not to break the spark. You won't get to heaven if you break my heart. If you break my heart. What the world needs now, yeah, is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little love. A chair is still a chair, even if there's no one sitting there. But a chair is not, and a box is not.
her recording of tunes like House Is Not a Home, Alfie,
What's it all about? Alfie,
and Theme from the Valley of the Dolls
gotta get off, gonna get, got to get off from this ride.
made Dionne a pioneer as one of the first female artists to popularize classic movie themes. From new arrangements to former classics, Dionne always set musical standards that to this day go unmatched. The early 1970s brought about significant changes in the life of this phenomenal entertainer. Scepter Records had folded, and she signed a new partnership with producer-songwriters Bacharach and David at Warner Brothers Records. The relationship, however, became strained there and eventually resulted in the demise of the collaborating dream team of Warwick, Bacharach, and David.
When I heard about the breakup of the relationships, I was shocked. I was also very disappointed, and I was disappointed because you were disappointed too.
It was an immediate wake-up call as to what has to be done once something is over.
Yes.
The unfortunate part is that Bacharach, David, Warwick were known in the industry as a triangle marriage that worked. And as it turns out, we got divorced. You know, time is probably the best friend anybody can have.
That's right.
If you use it properly.
Yes.
And it did give us all an opportunity to kind of spread our wings and try other avenues of approach. And as a result of that, then came you, was nominated for a Grammy. It was my very first #1 record without Bacharach and David.
Yes, yes.
And it all worked itself out.
It was very important for you.
Yes, it was.
And sometimes divorces are a good thing.
Yes, sometimes they are.
We don't aspire to them, but
it happens, no.
now that you're practically out on your own, how was it working with the other producers? You worked with Tom Bell, the Spinners, Johnny Mathis, Isaac Hayes. That must have been fabulous.
Barry Manilow, the Bee Gees, Jerry Ragged Boy. I mean, I had a good time.
Yes. And they were waiting for you.
Yes, they were.
Yes. Do you want us to play a little bit of the new collaborators so we can see where you went with that? Okay.
In 1978, Warwick signed with Arista Records and soon after received another Grammy Award for Best Performance Female Pop for the gold record I'll Never Love This Way Again, produced by Barry Manilow. She also received a Grammy that same year for Best Performance R&B Female for the gold record Deja Vu, written by Isaac Hayes. Next, she collaborated with Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees for the chart-topping Heartbreaker, proving that she was still at the top of her game.
Why do you have to be a heartbreaker when I was being what you want me to be? Suddenly.
Now you do something very, very well that we all have to learn how to do. And that's that you know how to forgive. And you've been...
But I don't forget.
Okay. But if you can do the forgive part.
Yeah.
And you were reunited
Yeah.
with Hal
David
Bird.
and Bacharach. Yeah.
And you again. How in the world did that happen?
In the period of time, which was actually 12 years, that we were separated, it really gave me an opportunity to grow. I had both of my sons at that time, and it was a period of time where I was very busy being a mommy, And that was my primary interest at the time. Backrack called me because Aaron Spelling had written a show called Finder of Lost Loves. And Aaron point blank told him, there's nobody that can sing this stuff but Dionne, so you gotta call her up. Because we want her to sing it as the title
And this
for
is
the
Bert
show.
talking to Aaron Spelling.
And Bert had to call me. You know, you just kind of sit back and wait. Time takes care of everything.
Everything goes around,
You know,
comes
he did,
around.
he called. And very few people had my private number, and this call came in on my private number. And when I picked up the phone and said hello, I expected to hear a voice that I was familiar with consistently.
Right.
And, hey, Dionne. I said, yes. Who is this? And Bert. I mean, it could have been Burt Reynolds, it could have been Burt. So, naturally, I said, Bert who?
I love you.
And
You had to do that, Bert.
he said, he explained to me what was going on, new television show, new song, and Aaron insisted that I was the only one he wanted to do this song, so would it be okay to come over and play it for me? I said, yeah, of course, you know, and I must say, when true friendships really are friendships, regardless of what seems to put a wedge between them, it's removed when it is absolutely honest. And when he came and rang the doorbell and, in his own words, ran to his security blanket, which is the piano, it was as if no time had passed at all. It really was. It was a wonderful reunion. I think it's a fabulous song, Finder of Lost Loves. And
I have to tell you that I don't remember their success during that 12-year period the way I remember your success. So,
well,
you were very, very gracious.
They had a couple of successes. They really did.
Did they?
Yeah, well. Yeah, I can name just a couple of things.
Yeah, okay.
For Hal, it was with Julio Iglesias and Willie Nelson, with All the Girls I Loved Before.
Lovely. That's
He
wonderful.
wrote that.
That's right.
Away from Bert. And
Right.
then Bert wrote Arthur's Theme.
The film?
Yes, for the film. Won an Oscar that year. So they had some success.
Oh, they were very, very talented. But the threesome was the
that was the magic.
winner. And TV and film played an important part in your career. And your debut into the world of film was in a film called Slaves in 1968.
Yeah.
Now, whose film was that?
There was a Theater Guild production film. Herbert Biberman was the director, and that was my first effort at being in a film and actually starring. I must say, though, that Ossie Davis and Stephen Boyd, they really walked me through that
Yes.
film. They were the kindest, most generous, giving people I've ever worked with.
You were very fortunate
And
to
I
have him.
certainly was.
Ozzy will, he will guide you
He
through.
embraced me like I was one of his babies.
Yes.
And he said, don't you worry about anything, and Stephen the same thing, and on either side of you, you just can't fall. You
That's
know?
wonderful.
It was fabulous.
Because it was an incredible change for you when you get in front of that camera and you are alone and you have to make that scene work
You
and it's
gotta
all new
remember
to you.
to say the words and not sing them.
That's right.
You know?
And your reputation was there, my
Yeah,
darling.
it
You've
sure
already
was.
been, you are Dionne Warwick. So now you're trying something new.
Yeah, it was interesting. It's something that I certainly hope to do more of.
Now, we come to this part in your life that it was very fascinating, I think, for most of us. Solid gold.
Oh, yeah.
Solid gold.
Yeah.
Let's take a little look at you on solid gold.
Okay.
Dionne was a huge success in her television hosting debut on Solid Gold. Her variety program, Dionne and Friends, brought about the ability to bring her immeasurable talent directly to the living rooms of millions of Americans.
Hello! Please welcome my very special guest and my dear, dear friend, Mr. Barry White.
This also led to other television ventures like the made-for-TV concert, Sisters in the Name of Love, with fellow songbirds Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle.
And the fact is that we will always be friends. Yes, we will. Always.
I was very moved the first time I saw you do that, because I know how you are about your friends.
Yeah.
And you are very supportive, and you have been to the ladies that were on there with you, as well as a few others.
No, well, friendships to me are as vital. I guess it's the blood that runs through my veins, you know.
Yes.
They're very important for me to be there when I need to be.
Yes.
And I'm finding that when I call somebody a friend and they reciprocate, that they've really been there. They are friends.
Yes.
So,
It's lovely.
yeah, it's important.
When you, I'm going to say this quite seriously to you. As you age, you will find that that is more and more important. Those friendships that you built as you were coming along,
Yeah.
and they hung in there, and vice versa, you hung in there with them.
Tell me, in your life, how important are friendships to you?
Very important. When little muscles and things are not sitting up as high, and little things are getting, you know. It's great to be able to talk to your pals. You came together with a group and you recorded something that I think means a great deal to all of us. I don't really know how that came about. The song is called That's What Friends Are For.
Right.
How did you do that? How did you make that happen?
You know, that was the weirdest thing in the world when I was doing a project for Aris at the time, and Backrack and his then wife,
Don't
keep
bother.
track, Carol Beersager.
Oh, Carol.
Yeah, I had just left their home listening to songs because they were going to produce a few songs for the new project. And that night, you know how we all, well, I know I do, I cannot sleep without my television on. It's like I gotta hear noise.
Yes.
And I was in that twilight, you're almost asleep, but you're not quite. And it was the end of a film, and the music woke me up, and it was that song. And it was being sung by Rod Stewart. It was a song from a film called Night Shift. And the next day, I knew, well, that night, I knew immediately whose music it was. I mean, nobody writes like Bert. I don't care what they tried to imitate. Nobody writes like this man.
He is a genius, indeed.
And, but I had no clue as who wrote the lyric.
Right.
And the next day, when I went back up to hear some more songs, I brought this song up. And they were so funny. He said, well, now we know 4 people that know this song.
Right.
You know, Carol, Bert, Rod, and Dionne.
Right.
You know, and I wanted to record it. And as a result of it being about friendships and the meaning of friendships, and I felt that I wanted to include some of my friends.
I find that so many women in our profession, we have very strange personal lives. It is because the roles are, we are in the role usually that is taken by the male. And you, like myself, you were married at a very early age.
Yes.
and you married a lovely man.
Yeah. I married him twice.
Yes, you did. And we've come to ask you about that today. But you had beautiful sons.
Oh, yeah.
And do you have any idea why you decided to marry your husband again?
It was one of those can't do with, can't do without. You know, when Bill and I got married the first time, I realized one day that I couldn't do everything I was doing before I got married. You know, my freedom was kind of
changed.
boxed in.
Yes.
And I am a free spirit. I mean, I really am. And, but then he knew that before he married me too, okay? But at any rate, just woke up one day and said, you know what? We're not supposed to be doing this. This is not what we were supposed to do. Not right now, anyway. And that's why I had to laugh when I said the first song I did as background was Mexican Divorce.
Yes,
That's where I went.
That's what you did.
I went to Juarez and stayed overnight like I was supposed to, signed that little piece of paper. I came back Dionne Warwick.
Yes, yes.
No Elliot in sight.
Yes.
And about 9-10 months later, I was on my way to San Francisco, where he had moved to, and I was working at the Fairmont Hotel, and he came to see me, and we started talking, and that was basically all we did, because I wouldn't let him in my room. And I was leaving for Italy shortly thereafter, and his sister happened to be living in Italy at the time, and he decided 2 days after I had gone that he was just gonna come to Italy. And when he got there, we got married again in Italy.
Mm-hmm. I was talking to someone that was in my life for about 9 years, and very, very famous man. Mm-hmm. And finally, he said to me, so why have you decided to be single? I said, because I've learned that I don't know how to be married.
Yeah.
It took a long time for me to understand. I don't think we know how to be married. And I was always amazed at your management of your children. They were always a part of you.
Absolutely, and they still are. There was never a time that, well, they were on the road with me in the very early years, and every summer, of course, they were with me. My work schedule actually revolved around their schedule. I didn't miss PTA meetings. I didn't miss the cake sales at the school. I was a carpooler. You know, there was never any doubt in my mind that I had to make a choice. There was no choice.
Mm-hmm. With your children.
That's right.
And they said you did not take any stuff.
And still don't.
Uh-huh.
You know, and they're both, one is 6'4" and one is 6'2". And I tell them like my mother used to tell my dad and my brother, I will get on a stepladder.
To put you in your place.
That's right.
And they're working?
Yes, they're both very much involved in the industry. I'm so proud of them both. David started that Walls Were Rolling, writing and producing. He wrote Luther Vandross's Here and Now.
Oh.
And, you didn't know that? So he was really responsible for Luther getting his first Grammy. And Damon, my baby, he'll kill me if you hear me say that, my 6'4", 260-pound baby. He's producing, he's in the new genre of music, the hip-hop area, but he's just fallen into a pot of honeys, and he's really producing and writing for females. Maya, Destiny's Child, Pink. It's amazing.
You
it
must
really
be
is.
very proud.
Well, let me button this so I can pop it.
Yes.
Yes, I am.
You did have an open mind about one of your songs.
Absolutely. What the world needs now is love, is what you're talking about. And what I did, basically, was because I knew these are babies, and these are our children. These are people that we have to take responsibility for. And the avenue of giving them the right way to go.
That's right.
These are brilliant young people. They're business people. They run their own companies. They have zillions of dollars in the bank. And I think that given the opportunity, they could address anyone in a fashion that would be palatable and you'd be able to understand them. And I wanted to let the world know that. I wanted to let the world and them know that in order to get my attention, you can't curse at me. You cannot call me out of my name.
Oh, thank you.
There are ways that you can talk to me.
Yes.
And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all because they all felt, oh, Miss Dionne dissing us. Yeah, I'm dissing and datting too. But what I want you to understand is that I care enough about you to confront you.
Yes.
Be a part of something that I'm doing. If I happen to be a part of your problem, show me how to be a part of the solution.
Absolutely.
Well, when I went to record, I asked my baby, I said, Damon, do you think that they would do it? He said, no, I don't think so. I said, would you do me a favor and ask? He says, who do you want? And I took two of the very first ones, was Fleshbone, who I slapped around a lot, and Corrupt, who I slapped around a lot. And they were the first two that said yes. And when we got into the studio, only thing I said to them basically was, the prerequisite is this is a song that is very dear to my heart. We will not do anything to mutilate it.
Right.
I want you to stay true to what is being said. I want you to write from your heart what you feel about how this world could use more love. And I must tell you all, I was overwhelmed at the prolific beauty of the words that these children wrote. Not one curse word, not one derogative mention of anything outside of what they felt would make love the primary issue of the world. And it's written, so you can read it, and it's just...
So it was something for them to think about. It was a jumping off place for them that was new.
And it was a way for them to do something without their peers thinking that they sold out. Damon produced this too.
Let us hear it. Okay.
Just to live love. What the world needs now. What the world needs now. Love, sweet love. What the world needs now. What the world needs now. What the world needs now. Love, sweet love.
Help the children. Thank you, Madame. Help the children.
That was so much fun.
You having a good time keeping all this together?
I'm having a great time. I feel that eventually I'm gonna stop using this, and
Not necessarily.
Well, at the pace I'm using it.
Yes.
And there are a lot of other areas that I want to dibble and dabble in. I think that we should take advantage of all the talents that God gave us.
I think so.
And if we don't use them, He's going to snatch them away from us. So I try to do everything I can.
Do you mind, I don't like to ask this, but they wanted me to ask you this. Is there any advice? Is there something you would say to young people? It's such a hard question
That's
to me.
that's the most difficult question that anyone can
Yes,
ask
it
anybody. What advice would you give? I don't give advice.
Thank you. I don't either.
I can't. Well, because I don't take advice well either.
I'm not good at that.
But, I think that if, like anything, whatever it is that you really, truly want, you just go for it. I mean, that's the only advice that anybody can
Yes,
give.
I think that. And I think we both believe that it's important that what we do in life, we recognize that is our demonstration.
Absolutely.
We're not just going through this to do.
It's not a rehearsal.
No, this is it. This is it.
Exactly.
And your decisions are your responsibility, and your children are watching, and your friends' children are watching.
That's right.
So this is called whatever you present to the world, that's what they see, and that's what our young people
Pattern
emulate.
themselves
That's
after,
right. Yeah.
I totally agree with Charles Barkley. I don't want anybody to look at me as a role model, and that's only based on the fact that I'm human. I have frailties, I have faults, and every now and then, not too frequently, but enough times, they will rear their ugly head, and that's when everybody wants to point the finger. But that's when something my grandfather told me ages ago comes into play for me. You point a finger at me, look down at your hand, 3 are pointing back at you.
It's important to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We are all human,
Yes,
and thank God we are.
And I think that, the role models for children should be right there in their faces every single day.
Every day. Every day. I really believe that that is the major part of your legacy, but I have to ask you, if you thought about what is the legacy that you'd like to leave, what would that be?
Oh my goodness. I'd just like to be remembered as being me.
Well, that's a lot.
Because I am who I am. I am always, this is the package. I don't care if you see me a day from now or a year from now. And that's why I don't have wrinkles, and that's probably why you don't either. Because you don't have to stop and think about how you were with this person at that particular time.
Well, I'll have to say that's true about you. Absolutely.
And, first, I like me. I really do. I had to grow to like me, but I do. I like me a lot. And I know there are places and areas that need attending to and changing that I will be working on. But I got a lot of time to do that. And I just feel that if I have to be remembered for anything, she was always Dionne.
If your past and how you've chosen to deal with it is any indication of our sitting here, I think that's enough of a legacy. And I'm very, very proud to call you my friend. You've shared things that I was surprised, I didn't imagine that you were going to share with us. Thank you for being so open and giving to us tonight, Miss Dionne Warwick.
I'm sure we could all agree that Miss Dionne Warwick wears many hats. She was a singer, actress, television host, spokesperson, as well as many other things. And out of all the things I've named and a few that I didn't, please let me know, what do you best remember her from? And also let me know, what legacy is it that you would like to leave for your loved ones? But as always, don't forget to like, share, watch more videos, and subscribe to the channel.